Boy and his uncle find something unusual while fishing at Lake Hartwell, forcing them to call authorities. But before we start, please give the video a like and make sure to subscribe to Wonderbot and hit the bell so you'll never miss any uploads from us. Brodie Brooks is an 11-year-old boy who loves fishing. It was because of his love for this game that his family planned a fishing trip on the 4th of July. This time was going to be fun, as the boy, for the first time, was making a fishing trip with older boys in the family. To top it off, Brodie had received a new rod as a gift. This trip provided him the perfect opportunity to test it. Brodie, along with his uncle, set out with their boat in Lake Hartwell, South Carolina. The man was excited to take Brodie on one of the most memorable adventures of his life. The duo began to wait after casting their fishing rods into the water. They were hoping to catch a big fish this time. The young boy began shouting that he actually had found something. However, his face got discolored when he pulled out the object. Ben was surprised, as he'd never expected him to trap something this huge. Brodie recalled, "It was bobbing my rod up and down. It was also quite heavy and felt like a really huge fish. The boy had just begun fishing and had managed to find something." Brodie at the same time was worried that the weight of the catch might snap his rod. What came out was not a fish. It was nothing they could have ever expected coming out of this lake. Whereas Brodie looked confused, his uncle had his jaw dropped. At first they could not make out what it was, but as the object came closer, they realized it was something unbelievable. It was a leather-shaped object. The thing that came out was an old bag. Ben recalled, "He gets it to the top of the water. All of a sudden, I see it's a purse. I said, 'Man, you ain't got no fish. You caught a treasure.' Not only that, the bag looked quite heavy, which meant it had some contents in it. Curiosity had taken over Brodie. He wanted to know what was inside that leather bag, so he opened it up. However, he could not go through the contents all alone. The boy called in his uncle on finding the things. The moment Ben took the bag in his hand, he realized that it was a very old purse. The purse looked old and tatty, but he figured its real age when he found something sliding out of it that went on to reveal its content. Even though the bag remained in the water for a long time, it was whole and intact. They flipped the purse open and got a look inside. Well, the purse was full of random items. They couldn't recognize some of the items inside the purse, but he went numb when he found this particular thing in the purse. He felt as if his heart had skipped a beat. There were a lot of things in that water-filled bag. It also contained some faded printed pictures. The pictures were too faded to be identified. They kept the wet pictures aside and started looking for other items. They had to do it very carefully, as the items were prone to get torn. Looking at the contents, it was pretty clear that the bag belonged to a woman. Ben was still in disbelief. He and his friends had been fishing here for a long time, but not once did they ever come across something like this. Surprisingly, the items were all drenched but in good shape. They also stumbled upon some store cards, teasing comb, and a tube of lipstick. Not only that, but they also found much other personal stuff that included a wallet. The purse had many pictures in it. The color and quality of those pictures had completely faded. By their appearance, it seemed as though they were clicked about 1 or 2 decades ago. Except for the pictures, there was no clue that could lead them to the owner of this bag. It seemed impossible. Their confusion dispelled when they opened the bag's other part. This part was completely hidden, and they might have never found it had they not checked the bag thoroughly. And this compartment also held photographs. There were a bunch of photographs kept in that section. One of these photographs goes on to stun Ben. He took out all those pictures from the purse and separated them carefully. Thereafter, he put them in the sun to dry out. They wondered how this purse would have ended up in the lake. Ben had no idea what was going to see in one of those pictures. It was then Ben looked at the pictures. One of the people in the pictures made him stop in his tracks. He kept on looking to confirm what he saw was true or not. Brodie, too, was in disbelief. The moment Ben regained his composure, he called the police. Ben had recognized one of those faces in the pictures. They knew a woman featured in those pictures. They were well acquainted with the lady. Ben had seen her a long time ago, as she was a family friend. However, they were not in touch for the last decade. There were a lot of questions swirling in their minds. What was the purse doing there? Had they stumbled upon an important part of any crime? They anxiously reached out to the authorities to tell them about their find. They were anxious to know what had happened to the owner of the bag. Ben took to Facebook to find out the owner and her kin and kith. The man could not get any headway until he saw a profile page of the woman's nephew. Ben left him a message about the purse. The owner of the bag is April Bolt. She's 49 years old and had lost her bag a few decades ago. Much to the fisherman's relief, the woman was alive and safe. As expected, the woman could not hide her astonishment on hearing the news. The woman had given up all hopes of finding back the purse a long time ago, and now she'd found it when she least expected. Bolt explained, "I couldn't believe it. I was lost for words." She continued, "You'd never think you'd see it again." April thought that someone, after stealing her bag, must have taken out all the money. The thief then threw the purse inside the lake. She lost her bag while attending an event at Lake Hartwell in the year 1992. She also took a ride in the boat with her family. They parked the boat for some minutes to relish a barbecue picnic. April recalled, "There were two guys there fishing, and I hate to accuse anybody, but when I got back, I was like, my pocketbook is gone." She said, "I was crying so hard. It was a lot of work trying to cancel my IDs and credit cards. My favorite lipstick was also in there, and that color's been phased out." She was sad not because all her things were in the bag were gone, but because of something else that she'd kept in the pocket and was never going to get back. She shared, "I was devastated. I was crying. I knew it was going to be a lot of work trying to cancel all my credit cards and license. The main thing was my little boy was 15 months old and all his pictures were in there." She said, "What was heartbreaking was that my little boy's photos, all of it, were in that purse." Her son at the time was only 15 months old, and she just fetched the copies of a professionally taken pictures. "The photos now are water damaged, but you can still make them out," she explained. Her daughter, Abby Bolt, calls the bag a time capsule. She said, "It's quite humorous considering the wallet, perfume, lipsticks, numerous credit cards from stores that were open 25 years ago, family pictures, 52 cents in change, a checkbook, a teasing comb, etc. It's a serious time capsule." This was the most unexpected and amazing fishing trip for Ben. What are the odds? You fish a bag out from the bottom of the lake, and then you recognize the owner from the photos inside, told Ben. However, Brodie was not happy about it. He wanted to catch a real fish that day with his brand new rod. Because of his unexpected catch, they stopped fishing right after. Brodie, who was expecting a fish coming out while drawing the rod, felt more sad when he saw the bag. It was his first time fishing, and so he wanted it to be memorable by catching a fish. Instead of even finding a small fish, he caught an old leather bag. However, his uncle told him that what he'd found was nothing less than a treasure. But the boy didn't feel the same. April is extremely happy that she found her lost belongings back. "There's got to be a reason why this is happening," she said. "I'm sure God will let me know at the right time." Isn't it amazing? How many times have you found something that astonishing while fishing? At the end, we want to know your opinion about the story in the comments box below.